be talking about finding arc measures in circles. So what is an arc? What is an arc of a circle? Well, if we draw a circle, the perimeter of that circle is called the circumference. Now, a part or piece of that circumference is an arc. So if I go from here to here, that is called an arc. It is a piece of the circumference. So we're going to be finding the measurements of arcs today, of circles. So I have a few things to talk about. First off, we have a circle here on the right, and we're going to draw the center. So I'm going to draw the center of the circle. Now, if I were to draw an angle with the vertex at the center, here's an angle with a vertex at the center, that is called a central angle, because the vertex is at the center of the circle. Okay? Now, there's something special about a central angle and its corresponding arc. Let's say if this is 35 degrees, its corresponding arc from here to here is also going to be 35 degrees. So the central angle is going to be equal to its corresponding arc. Those measurements are equal and they are done in degrees. Okay? Now, if I were to draw a diameter straight through that center, that cuts the circle into two semicircles, two halves of the circle. Well, an entire circle is 360 degrees, so a semicircle is 180 degrees. And this is a very important piece of information because this is going to help us in today's lesson and in later lessons, knowing that a diameter cuts it into two semicircles which are 180 degrees. That helps us solve some of these problems. Okay, now we have two different types of arcs. We have a minor arc and a major arc. A minor arc is less than 180 degrees. And a major arc is greater than 180 degrees. Okay? Now let's put some points on here. Let's figure out how to name these arcs. So a minor arc is less than 180. Well, we have a minor arc up here. We have this red arc, which is 35 degrees. And the way we name that red arc is arc BC. We put a little arc over it. Now, a minor arc, we always use two letters. We know it's a minor arc because it has two letters. Okay? Now, the measurement of arc BC is going to be 35 degrees. Okay? Now, with a major arc, let's go from C around to A, around to B. That's a major arc. It's bigger than 180, okay? And that's arc CAB. That's how we name that. We go in the order that we went around the circle, okay? Now, to find the measure of CAB, we know that an entire circle is 360 degrees, and the green arc is just the red being subtracted. So we can do 360 minus 35 degrees. And we get 325 degrees. So the measurement of this arc is 325 degrees. Okay, so we can use all of these pieces to solve. Now, there's one more thing. With a major arc, we use three letters. Okay, so let's solve now. All right, first off, it says identify the given arc as a major arc, minor arc, or semicircle. Find the measure of each arc of circle R. And it also tells you that NP is the diameter. Now this is an important piece of information. I always like to highlight my diameters. And I like to highlight my diameters because that tells me that these two halves, it cut that circle into two semicircles or 180 degrees. So that's a piece of information that's going to help us solve for some of these problems. So now let's look at arc MN. Arc MN is a minor arc as two letters, and so we go from M, and we go the short way to N. We don't go the long way all the way around because that would be a major arc. So we know it's a minor, so we go the short way, M to N, it's minor. Now since its central angle is 70 degrees, its arc is 70 degrees. So the measurement of arc MN is 70 degrees. All right, let's look at arc MP. So we go to M, to the right to the P, and then all the way around to the N. We can't take any shortcuts inside. Now, just by looking at that, that's a major arc. All right, and what we can do to find this major arc is that we can take the whole circle, 360, and we can subtract by the 70, and we get 290 degrees to get that remaining piece, because we take the whole circle, and if we take out the blue piece, which is 70, we get the remaining, which is the green arc. Okay, let's move on to arc PM. Arc PM. So we have this one right here to here. So that's a minor arc. Now, how do we get this one? Well, what we can do is we can use this diameter. Highlighted diameter. So from here to here, this piece of the circle is 180 degrees. So to find the red arc, what we can do is take that half of the circle and do 180, take away the blue piece, and what you have left over is the red piece, which is 110 degrees. All right, and our very last one, PMN. Let's do that in purple. Okay, so we go from P to M to N. Well, if you notice, that is a semicircle. And a semicircle is always 180 degrees. All right, let's do some more examples. So this one, once again, we're going to identify if it's a major, minor, or a semicircle. We're going to find the measure of each arc, and then I also tell you that BD is the diameter. So first off, I'm going to highlight that diameter because it's going to help me. It cuts it into two semicircles, so both of those halves are 180 degrees. Let's look at the first one, arc CD. That's a minor arc, and we go from C to D. That's less than 180, so it is a minor arc. Since its central angle is 132 degrees, its arc is 132 degrees. Our next one is arc CDB. So we go from the C down to the D, because you have to go in order, then around to the B. Now this one's a little tricky. If you notice that the red arc includes the blue arc plus the semicircle on the left. So we know that this piece from here to here is 180. So the red arc includes the blue and the black. So what we can do to find that complete red arc is go 180 plus 132, because both of those pieces added together equal the red piece. So we can do 180 plus 132, and we get 312. And of course, that's a major arc. It's above 180. All right. Our next one is B to C around to D. Well, if we look at that, that's a semicircle. That's half a circle. And a semicircle is 180 degrees. And our very last one, that tiny little piece up there, BC, this bit from here to here. What we can do is we can take 180, because this half is 180 right here. From here to here is 180. And we can subtract it. We can take 180 and subtract it from 132 to get that little purple bit left. And we get 48. So this is 48 degrees, and of course this is a minor arc. So it's all about adding or subtracting, using your 360 degrees, or either using your 180, which is your diameter. So they're kind of like puzzle problems. Let's do some more examples. Okay, now this one, if you notice, does not have a diameter. So we cannot highlight a diameter. We can't use that 180 trick. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start finding our measurements. So let's look at our first one, arc GE. So you go from G all the way down to E. Well, if you notice, this arc, the top piece, the GH arc is 25 degrees. The central angle is 25, so the arc is 25. And the central angle for HE is 75, so this is 75 degrees. Okay, so if both of those arcs include the red arc, all we have to do is add 25 plus 75, and we get 100 degrees. Okay, so you can add those two pieces together. Let's do 115 right here. Okay, let's look at GEF. We go from G all the way down to E, then to F. Now, if you notice, it includes the 25, the 75, and the 115 pieces. So we can add all three pieces together to get that whole entire arc, which is 215. All right, our very last one is arc GF, which is the rest of this right here. So what we can do is, if we know that this entire green piece is 215, we can take the amount of the whole circle, 360, subtract the green piece, which is 215, and we can get the remaining blue arc, which is going to be 145. So we can do addition, we can do subtraction. This time we use 360 degrees. That's a very important piece to remember. All right, we've got one more. This one says, a recent survey asked teenagers whether they would rather meet a famous musician, athlete, actor, inventor, or other person. The circle graph shows the results. Find the indicated arc measures. So we have the pie chart, or the circle graph, to the right with the different degree measurements of the central angles, so that means the corresponding arcs are the same. So let's look at A. We're going to look for the measure of arc AC. Now, since it's only two letters, it's going to be a minor arc, so we're going to get to see the shortest possible way around the circle. So it's a minor arc. And I noticed that the red and the blue are parts of that blue arc. So I'm going to do 29 plus 108. And I'm going to get 137. So this first one is 137 degrees. Let's do arc ACD. Now we go from A all the way around to C, back to D. And now we've added on the blue piece, the blue arc plus the yellow piece. So we can take blue, which is 137, and add on the extra yellow arc, and we can get a red arc, which is 220. All right, let's look at our next one, which is ADC. So we go from A all the way to D, all the way to C. So this one includes the yellow, which is 83, the green, which is 61, and the purple, which is 79. So we can just add those three up, and we can get our total for the green arc. So 83 plus 61 plus 79, and we get 217. All right, our very last one, EBD. So we go from E to B all the way around to D. Now, if you notice, the purple arc is everything except for the green. So we can do 360 minus the green, which is 61. And we get 299. So that arc is 299 degrees.